Um, I have to request permission to
From
do
the
the
host.
recording.
That's okay. I'm recording right now, so
Okay.
that's fine. Sorry again. Welcome to our meeting for the 5th time. So we'll start again with Sina, and then yeah, we'll just go around the room.
Cool. Okay. Hey guys, I'm Sina.
And Brother Schaefer is
And
joining
some
us.
of the points. Yeah, no problem. Oh.
Hey, you let me in.
My
I was thinking, you don't want me in there.
No. My computer's been going off and on, so this is like the 3rd time we've restarted our meetings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's working now?
Yeah, we're actually just starting again, so you're just in time.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what you do is if it keeps doing that, you just assign somebody as co-host, someone else as co-host, and then it shouldn't cut the meeting out if you leave. Or you make somebody else the host.
Rosemary, you want me to pass it to you then?
I don't mind.
Okay, I'm gonna select it now.
Okay. Oh,
cool.
Okay, I'm gonna start recording now, yeah?
Okay, and mine is still recording as a backup, so.
Okay. Starting now.
Go ahead, Sina.
Okay. As I was saying, one of the key points that stood out to me in the podcast, not broadcast, was when the beginning, when they started talking about the Michelin family. I'm not sure if I said it right, but yes, that family, and how they were like they founded a tire company, and that eventually led to what we have today, the Michelin stars that rank the best restaurants in the world, sorry. And I just thought it was so cool how like a tire company that wanted business would create something that is so different from like what they do and make, which is tires. And yeah, that stood out to me. Also the meaning of the stars. I didn't know what those stars meant, like when they're like, oh, it's a one-star Michelin restaurant, and I was like, ooh, what does that mean? And so like the podcast covered that, and they said a 1-star restaurant means it's a very good restaurant, 2 stars means it's worth a detour, and 3 stars means it's worth a trip. And so that was really interesting. I never knew what that meant, so.
Me neither. Yeah. Thank you. And then Sala?
Okay, so one thing that really stood out to me from the whole broadcast is marketing. I know marketing is one of the biggest sector within the tourism hospitality industry. And they mentioned in the broadcast that as we know about marketing is it has to deal with financial and dealing with money management. And without marketing, like the business can't run or operate. And tourism marketing is a world into itself, and it is one of the challenging and competitive sectors or areas within the tourism hospitality management, because not only it's hard to convince people to travel, and also from nation to nation, city to city, they try to battling to bring in the most dollars of tourists in order for businesses to run and operate. And an example of the marketing that stood up to me in the broadcast is the RFP tourism business, which is stand for request or proposal. And this tourism business, they invite advertising agency to deal with its account. And in the state of Ohio, their RFP marketing, not only they just bring in or throw in bunch of destination in their apartment, but they also capture the emotion qualities that make the state of Ohio more distinctive and more competitive. And yeah, that is something that really stood out to me.
Thank you, Sala.
Thanks for letting me interrupt. I do have another meeting in about 2 minutes, but
that's
I'm going to
fine.
say I have a question for you all. Who has seen the Hobbit videos, in-flight videos, Air New Zealand? The best in-flight videos ever. The Lord of the Rings.
Cool.
Yeah, very entertaining. Great example of marketing in tourism. And I would say, I don't know, 60, 70% of the success of any travel business is in the marketing. If they right, great. If they don't do it right, nobody's going to come. So, but I'll let you keep going and I'll watch the videos. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Good to see y'all.
All right.
Bye, Professor.
Bye. Now, don't you leave, right? You're not done.
No. Okay.
Of course not.
And
Huh? Okay, so I just kind of remember the previous video or discussion we had as well of how basically advertising or marketing affects everything. So just kind of like that thing with the chicken or turkeys, you know, how they made a mistake, but then they turned it around through advertising. And so it kind of goes along with this or in connection. So I actually really like the part about Vegas. And so, you know how Las Vegas has a slogan or like a quote saying, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. So those kinds of things, something that's very, very catchy, unique to a certain place. Like Brother Schaefer said, once it is used correctly, it could either make or break a business. So just thinking about it, also kind of what I think someone said before, no matter how good a business or a brand is, if it's not known by anyone, or if the word doesn't spread of how good they are, it really wouldn't make a difference. They won't be successful because basically we want to make sure that we address the needs or expectations of consumers. And if consumers don't know what they're being offered, they're not going anywhere. And so, yeah, just going along with that, everyone knows, or most of us knows from movies, news, advertising, marketing, all sorts of those. We know that Vegas is, you know, full of casinos or hotels, you know, it's all about money, that kind of thing. It has its reputation. And that is because of marketing. Whether we know it or not, or we realize it or not, marketing has definitely affected how we view things. And if it is a good, impression, we'll for sure probably buy or purchase those services. And so, yeah.
thank you. Rose May.
Yeah. Just to go along with what they said, one thing that also stood out to me is how everything started with a story, like the Hobbit, the Queensland, Ohio, Kazakhstan thing. It all started with just a simple story. I like the line that the podcaster, is that the right way? Yeah, the person who was talking in the podcast said, like, the best tourism campaign captures the emotion of the destination. All the slogans that they used, all the catchy phrases, like Anne said, highlights everything to the advertisement and also like the marketing of the specific place or the country that they're catering. So like, I think it's very important, like what Anne said, how we make sure the proper way or like proper slogan or like catchy phrases to use when it comes to advertisement, because it tells everything about what you want to say to the people and also how you want to introduce the company or the place. And also, like, I like what you said, like, people love stories, and that is actually true. Like, if people like don't they're not focused on how you show it, it's how you tell the stories to them. Yeah, so that's what I learned.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's something I caught too, is when he said that the most effective marketing is done by emotion. That example they gave about Hamilton Island, and also just one negative that I heard in the whole podcast was about that movie Borat. If you guys haven't seen it, don't watch it. It's not a very I can see why that country said it had a negative impact on them, and they talked about how the movie was banned and other things. It was very, very inappropriate. It to me just, yeah, I watched it in my teenage years, but I've repented. Don't watch it. It's not funny. There's a lot of bad humor, bad representation of the culture. But it's funny how they kind of took a step back after they saw that there were some positives coming from it. First they were so against it, and then once things started getting better, all of a sudden they allowed it. Now I'm seeing advertisements that there's a sequel that just came out, which is, to me, that kind of went along with another line I heard, that man only respects what he pays for. So if there's a dollar value attached to it, there's also respect attached to it, which is, to me, it kind of just put other things aside, like culture, representation. So, I mean, that was interesting to hear. But yeah, overall, I think just what all of you brought up, the most important thing is marketing. How are you going to market the destination, the emotions attached to it? And I think they just gave some really impressive examples of, I would have never thought of those marketing techniques when it came to Hamilton, when it came to the tire company, about using maps or promoting destinations just to get people to travel and literally wear down their tires to make more sales. I would have never thought of that. So definitely good stories and also great advice. I mean, to really think out of the box to really make your business or your company successful. So does anyone have anything else? Questions or comments, disagreements?
I agree with everyone.
I agree with everyone too. Okay.
But yeah, that was good.
I enjoyed this podcast a lot more than the last one. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay. Well, if that is it, then yeah, that's it, I guess. Yeah, I'll wrap it up.
So,
I'll wrap it up, and then
too bad Maya didn't make it.
yeah. Who was the note taker again? I forgot.
I'm the note taker this time.
Okay. I will save the video and upload it to YouTube, and then I'll send you the link. And then when you submit your notes, you can just put the link in the comments. I'll have it done by tonight.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, everyone.
Thank you. Have
Goodbye.
a great weekend.
Bye.
You too.